Well, hello everybody, welcome back. Good afternoon. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back. It's spring 2019. I've got a 20-liter dry bag behind me. Hopefully you can see there's some trees that have some leaves. It's time for this spring overnighter. This bag, it appears to be a lot of gear in here, but there's really not that much. When I get to the trees over there and I start getting a shelter set up, I'm going to show you exactly what's in this bag and how little it actually is. I'm excited about this overnighter. The weather's good right now, but we have a high chance of rain tonight in the forecast. Everything that I have in this bag is what I'm going to be using for this overnighter. However, I want you guys to know that my vehicle is parked maybe 2 football fields away, and I have plenty of extra gear in that vehicle in the event that I might need it. But I'm going to follow a simple rule that I like to follow a lot of the time when I come out like this, and that is, if I'm going to get anything out of the vehicle, I will definitely share it with you. It'll be documented. It's not me going to be going over to my car getting things off camera or nothing like that. Everything that you see is going to be real on this video. In my vehicle though, I've got first aid, I have blankets, I have tent, I have food, I have water, I have everything that you would need. The reason I'm going to those trees behind me is because I think that there is some water down there, and where there's water there may be some food. These are dandelions. Okay, dandelions is a very good wild edible plant, and right next to it is yarrow. Yarrow is a really good wild medicinal plant. So this whole area right here, just from what I can see right now, there's a lot of good stuff. You can also eat yarrow if you need to. This is good stuff so far already. It's a very thick area right here. Kind of tough getting through. Not too bad though. Just kind of going through here. I'm seeing signs of moisture on these leaves down here. You can see that there's puddles of water. I'm always looking out for animals and stuff, because I don't know what kind of critters are out here. Trying to find a good location for a shelter set up, but I want to go off in the distance over there, and I want to see what's over there. For those of you who might have noticed, this is pretty close to the same location that Justin and I came on one of our overnighters last year. Was right here. We were actually half of a mile that way south of where I'm at right now. So I'm seeing water already. This is good. It's kind of nice to have some water that's going to be very good to stay hydrated. I'm very hydrated right now. I really gotta pee, so that'll definitely be the first order of business before I get set up. I don't want to stay here on a low section here. I want to actually be up on a higher section. This is a flash flood in the bottom of this canyon, so I want to stay safe and make sure that I'm not at a low in case we get some rain and the water levels rise. I just want to set myself up a little bit, not down. So there's quite a bit more dandelions. So that's kind of good. I like that. Kind of like this spot right here in front of me. It's a little bit higher, so it's not too bad. I think this could work. I think I want to be a little bit higher though still. That's mullein. These big thick leaves, so those are good. That's nature's mucinex, so that's another good find. I'm thinking that there's some crawdads here because I saw a lot of stuff moving. There's a little minnow. So I think I may have found a good place to find some food. I'm seeing some pretty fast cloud coverage. Looks like there could be some weather wanting to roll in. So I think I need to get a shelter going. So there's a prickly pear starting to get its fruit, but they're not ready yet. But that's definitely a potential another food source right there. The pads of the prickly pear. There's another one. Thistle. That's another good one. Boy, this place is very abundant. This place has a lot of resources. Good resources. So I'm very happy. There's some natural water collection. So we've definitely had some rain in the very recently. Pretty cool. More thistle. Quite a bit of thistle. This whole area up here is covered in thistle. So that's good. That's also an edible plant. I don't really like eating thistle. It has too many spines. You gotta cut those spines off. And right here's some yucca. This guy right here, that's a nice yucca plant. Somebody's been butchering the crap out of that one. Some bigger ones. That's a good find there. Good stuff. Nice. A lot of it here. So that's pretty cool. Digging that. Look at that one. Good stuff. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just looking at all the food over here. That's pretty cool. I think I may have found another section. Yeah, this place right here might look good too for a shelter. Look at that natural bedded type area. There's a branch there that I can tie to. The water's not that far away. That could be pretty promising. Let me show you what I brought in this kit. This is what I have to survive on this overnighter. Not much. Looks like a lot more than it is. So the first thing I have here, this bag is all camera gear. It's batteries, camera stuff. There's another GoPro in there. This is some very thin 0.7 mil plastic. It's got a few tears in it. It's extremely thin, 9 foot by 12 foot. That's my shelter. Look at that, took up the bulk of this dry bag. Next thing in here is a small blanket that you get off of an aircraft when you fly. We went to Hawaii, and this is the American Airlines blanket that they give you. Rolled up inside of this, I have 2 chicken breasts. They're frozen right now. I have them rolled up inside so that they stay cold, so that they stay frozen, and then that way they're ready whenever I'm ready to cook them. Okay, so that's my blanket. It's not a very big blanket, it's very small. It's a very light duty blanket. It's not thick at all, but that's what I brought. Okay, so it's serving 2 functions right now. Keeping my, it's a ice chest right now, for the lack of a better term. So there's my blanket and my food. Right here I have a knife and some cordage. This is a Mora heavy duty. It's a crappy knife. I brought the Blaze orange. I like the orange color. It's easy to see. And this is some leftover, I think it's nylon string that I had on the $5 video. That's just some leftover string. It's very thin, but that's what I brought. I have a Nalgene water bottle, 32 ounces, and a GSI nesting cup with a bandana between them. And that's my pot, that's my water container. Obviously you can see it's full of good drinking water. I'm fully hydrated at this point, so I'm not going to drink just yet. I have a brand new Baco Laplander. It hadn't even been used yet. Just brought this one out. When I went to Hawaii, I had a knife and a Baco in my bag that was going to be my checked bag, and we were running late for our flight. So we went through TSA, and they thought we were trying to carry it on, so they confiscated my knife and my Baco. It was either that or miss my flight. So I told them just keep them. I meant to check that bag, but again, we had a traffic jam out of Phoenix, and it took us a few minutes late into the airport, and we ended up, I lost my Mora Garberg. It was a carbon steel version, and I was trying to get on my plane, so I lost the sheath, the knife, and a Baco, and I was pissed. You know, if it was a carry-on, you're not allowed those things. As a check bag, you can, but again, we didn't check our bags. Here is a lighter. It doesn't have that much fuel, so it works. This is some paracord that I brought. I brought this just to put a lanyard on the Baco. I like a paracord lanyard on my Baco instead of the leather. And right here is my Olight. This is going to be the light that I'm going to use for this video, because when it gets dark, I'm going to go down to the water and I'm going to look for crawdads. So I have two lights here. I have an M1T special edition. So this goes to 5 lumens first, and then it goes to 500 lumens on high. And then I have a H1, not the H1R, just the H1 headlamp. I think it's 600 lumens. I have a couple rechargeable batteries here, and a battery charger that's USB powered. So if I need to run back to the car, plug this into the car to charge my batteries, then I'll do that. But these batteries work pretty good. These are aftermarket rechargeable batteries that I'm using, but that's the lighting that I've got for this video. And last but not least, my 20-liter dry bag. This could be used for a lot of things. It could be used for hauling bedding. You know, it's basically a bag, so you can put whatever you want. You can go down and scoop water and throw the crawdads in there if you're catching crawdads. You can use it as a trap for crawdads. There's a lot of things that this dry bag can be used for. So that's all I have. It doesn't look like much now. You know, once you see it all laid out, that's all I have. That's my stuff. That's what I have for this overnighter. Of course, I've got the clothes on my back, and you can see that I have a chamois. The chamois is good for a pillow. This could be used for a pillow. It could be used for a blanket, bandana, you know, first aid, all kinds of things. So that's what I have, and I'm just in a really happy mood. I feel great. I'm ready to make this shelter. I'm looking at the sky, and looks like the cloud coverage has slowed down a little bit, so there's not really a pressing time to get this shelter built. It's very simple. I'm just going to do it right here where I'm sitting. I've noticed there's some natural pine needles and stuff which will break conduction. It's not going to get too cold tonight on the forecast. I think it shows low 40s, 41, 42-ish. So I think we'll be good to go. I mean, I've got a little sweater and a t-shirt and some pants and some shorts under the pants. And I have my small blanket, my chamois, my hat. I think I'll be fine. All right, here's a look at my shelter. I have a external grommet, used a pine cone and tied it around a little bit of a branch there. Nothing too crazy. Stretch the plastic out. The plastic is basically its own ridge line. Put a rock rolled up on each end to kind of put the plastic where I need it, so I can get down inside of there, and in the event of any rain or any downpour, I can definitely get in here and stay dry. And that's the key. I'm on a little bit of a slope. I'm going to probably go gather some debris, pine needles and such, and make me a nice mat down here that's going to be really comfortable. So this is it for now. This is my shelter for tonight. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to work really well. I think it's going to be quite effective. That's all I need. And this is thin plastic. It's a 0.7 mil. It's not even 1 mil. Okay, I had to fix this. I was doing a fire pit just now, and the wind blew and it broke my plastic. So I just fixed that. Hopefully it'll last. If not, I'll figure something else out. Well, as you can see, it's raining, so the forecast was accurate. I was actually out getting a camera mount for my other GoPro at the car, and the rain just started coming down, so I had to make it back to my shelter. And by the looks of it, it looks like it's hail. Look at these little guys coming down. I got my fire pit done, but I don't have a fire yet. But look at this. Wow, it's pretty crazy. So far, my shelter is doing good. Hopefully it'll continue to do good. We'll see if it holds up. But I'm really enjoying this trip so far. Yeah, that's definitely hail coming in. I'm well protected under here, so that's good. Plastic's holding up so far. Life is good. This is so cool. I just love it. Thank goodness I had this shelter up, because this storm came out of nowhere. The joys of an overnighter. The fun's only begun, folks. We're just getting started. That rain and hail that I just had passed, so now I'm gonna make a fire. I got some dry pine needles here, nothing too crazy. Let's take a look here with this lighter. I don't think I'm gonna need that much. And some little smalls. I'm trying to get some dry stuff here. This little stick might be a little damp, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it on there. I think it'll be okay. Let's throw some loose material on there. Get this fire going. So I'm glad that the lighter worked. And now I can put damp stuff on top, because it'll dry as it goes. As long as I have enough airflow in there for it to breathe. Don't want to smother it. But that looks pretty good. Look, I'll throw a few pine cones on there. Those are always good. And just let that baby go. That's such a relaxing feeling, you know, and it's such a kind of a morale booster when you see a fire at camp. The smell that it puts in the air, the smoke, helps keep the bugs away. Entertainment, warmth, purify water, cooking, all those types of things that we can use this fire for. So it's always a good thing. It's always probably my favorite part when I go to camp, is making the fire. I really enjoy that part of it. And I like to try to use different methods to keep all my tools sharp, so to speak. Sometimes it's flint and steel, sometimes it's a ferrocerium rod or a metal match. Sometimes it's char cloth, sometimes it's solar ignition. Sometimes, you know, it's friction fire. Just all these different methods. And it's fun. I like it. And another thing that I'm kind of doing right now is I'm testing the fire and to see how the smoke's going to react with the location of my tarp. And it's good to find out now before bedtime, because I don't want to have a fire that's gonna smoke me out in the middle of the night, and you know, if there's rain coming and stuff and I'm trying to sleep and I'm getting smoked out, that could make for a pretty bad night. There's my shelter. Held up good so far. You can see like a little collection of hail down there. That's pretty crazy. That's probably all I need. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Very nice. That heat feels so good. Yeah, let's see. This one, yeah, they're both solid. So I'm only gonna cook one of them. There's a few ways that I could cook it. I could let that fire go down to coals, and I could make sure the flames are gone and lay this baby directly on the coals, but it's frozen, so I'm gonna choose the boiling method. I'm gonna just put it in some boiling water, and that'll make a nice broth, and it'll give me a good chunk of meat. This thing is rock solid still, so yeah, boiling. Oh, there we go. Just drop that baby in there. I'm really happy right now. You can see my breath. Kind of curious what the temperatures are going to get down to tonight. I'm thinking the forecast said low 40s, so that should be fine. We should be having a good time. I'm really enjoying the heat that's coming off of that fire. It feels so comfortable. It feels good. Of course, I'm not too worried about water purification right now because I've got 32 ounces of water and I'm fully hydrated. If I get some more rain, I definitely have dry material underneath here that I can use to get a fire going. The unfortunate part is, while I was out doing camera work earlier, setting up a time lapse and things like that, I wasn't here putting bedding down in my shelter, so I don't have a big thick layer of pine needles like I wanted. I miss the girls. I miss Miss Bella. I wish they were here with me. But I love coming out like this. These videos are so fun. I love doing it. If you guys ain't doing it at home, you need to. You need to get out and you need to do this. It's amazing. It's like therapy. It's like, I don't know, it's just the way it makes you feel inside. It's amazing. It really is. And something as simple as just sitting underneath this tarp, you know, doesn't take much to stimulate my mind, I guess. So I'm looking at this rock over here in the distance, and it is completely flat. Kind of wondering if I can flip that baby with the flat side up and use that as a table. I don't know. I'm gonna go look at it. That rock is probably pretty heavy. Yeah, the thing is pretty heavy. I don't know if I can manage that thing or not. Looks like I need something underneath it here. You also have this rock here. This would be a perfect deadfall rock. I wanted to set a deadfall trap. Boom. That'd be a good deadfall. It's naturally channeled too. So yeah, some cool things to think about. I want all the juices in this water so I can get kind of almost a broth out of this. Well, that's a pretty good little chunk of meat there. All right, so this is going to go back on the fire. This is going to go in the fire. I came to take a leak, and the rain has started to come down again. This is what I'm looking at. So beautiful. My shelter is holding up good. It's time to eat some chicken. I'm excited. I'm hungry. I'm ready. See how this chicken is. I'm going to take this chicken out and I'm going to set it right here. Let me pick off that little piece of ash real quick. Set my bandana down. And I want to see, cut into this thing and see how it looks. It smells good. Let's see if it's cooked all the way through. Yeah, it looks like it's almost done. I think what I'll do is I'll put it back in there in smaller pieces, and so it can cook all the way through everywhere. It smells good. Boy, I'm ready to eat that. So yeah, that's turning out pretty good. Let's put that baby back in there. Put that back in there. Let's cut this, thin it out a little bit so it'll cook a little bit more all the way through. Don't want to take no chances out here. Little thinner pieces should make it cook a little bit nicer. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. That little piece of ash in there. Smells good, and it's probably done, to be honest with you, but I just want to make sure that it's fully done. 100%. All right, it's time to pull that chicken off and eat it. Thank God for this plastic. It's keeping me dry. So I'm using my dry bag here as a table, and I'm just laying these pieces out. Getting a little bit of ash off of them as I go. Funny thing is, it started to rain again, and not that that's funny, but what's funny is I got my table over there, that rock, squared away finally, and I was gonna eat out there, but the rain said no, so I'm forced into my shelter, which is okay, because I don't want to melt if I get wet. I'm so ready to eat this meal. Smells amazing. Got a few pieces of ash in there. Nothing too bad, but cooking it this way is a good method because it's, you know, you can get the ash and stuff off of the meat. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that is just amazing. Definitely delicious. When you're hunkered down because of the weather, and it's a little chilly down here in the bottom of the canyon. So the temperatures might actually get colder than I'm anticipating, because the temperatures that I was thinking about were in Winslow, my hometown, where I'm from. And where I'm at is about 40 miles south of Winslow. So there's a chance that the temperatures could be in the high 30s. Very good. Ah, man. I wish you guys could enjoy this with me. That warmth and that goodness. Cooked all the way through. You know, so many people, they think that they gotta cook this thing over a fire and then they burn the hell out of it. Why not just boil it? Tastes pretty plain, but when you're hungry, it's delicious, believe me. When I came out here,
I was fully hydrated, but I was still hungry because I hadn't ate much today. Let me tell you, this is hitting the spot without a doubt. I'm gonna go enjoy this. I got done eating my chicken and I wrapped up a piece here. It's got a few little loose ends. What my plan is to take this down to the water, to a shallow spot, put it underwater, secure this to a rock or something, and don't have this like sitting on the ground, but have it kind of suspended so that the crawdads will have to work to get at it. This is bait for the crawdads. I'm gonna let it sit down there a few hours, and then I'm gonna go down a little bit later with the flashlight and see what kind of crawdads we have and if I can catch any. This is more for fun than anything. I'm not hurting for food or nothing like that. I'm just wanting to see what the yield will be on crawdads, how many crawdads are down there. I got the bait right there, and it's using this rock to hold this stick so that the bait is just barely suspended. And I chose this spot because the crawdads won't have a lot of places to go. Hopefully the crawdads will come in and not be able to leave. And I'm just doing this as an experiment, see what happens. I think it'll be pretty cool. In fact, I might lower it one turn so that it goes completely underwater, because I noticed there for a second it was above water and I didn't want that. So I want them to just come and eat on it, and then when it gets good and dark, I'll see if I can't find some crawdads. Just an experiment. I think it'll be fun. I'm on the way back to the car to put the chicken in the car, the other chicken breast, and I thought I would check on this bait. Nothing. No crawdads here. So let's go down here and see if I see anything. Just in case you were wondering which light I'm using the Olight Model M1T, the special edition. Okay, I see one of them. He's right under. There's a little baby one right there walking, but under that rock there, he's trying to back up right there where my finger is moving. He's a little guy though. He's little. Yeah, there's a bunch of little ones. It's time to go to bed. Got my little blanket here. It doesn't seem like much. Temperatures, they feel good. I've got my 20-liter dry bag as a pillow I'm going to be using. Got my headlamp on. Got my knife on my hip. And like I said, I got my little blanket. It's warm enough for now. I don't know if it's going to get colder in the night. It's been a great day. I'm so happy. I feel good. I really do. This plastic is very thin, so I'm being careful, making sure I'm not ripping holes in it. It's got a bunch of holes ripped in it anyway. So underneath the shelter here, I took some of the pine needles and kind of brought them together to have like a little mound to lay on. And I'm putting pine cones up here behind me. I still have my shoes on and socks and everything. So that's about it. We got a little bit of rain a few minutes ago, right after I took that chicken back to the vehicle. No crawdads. I was surprised about that. They're not going after that chicken like I thought they would. I thought they'd be eating that thing. So that's kind of a surprise. But today's been fun. I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning, and sweet dreams. I love y'all. Bye. Good morning. I slept good last night. This blanket was just enough. This went flat in the night, so I kind of ran out of my pillow. I should have filled it with pine needles. Got a little colder than expected last night. I wasn't shivering or anything, but I got almost to the point where I was going to go down to the car and get a bedroll and share that with you, but I ended up not doing that. The chamois kept me warm around my neck. I got up about, I'm guessing, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. Had to pee. So while I was up, I went and checked the crawdad situation, and there was no crawdads eating on that chicken. Yeah, it looks like the fire went out. So the ground that I slept on was comfortable. I have kind of a downward slope going down towards the feet, but I also have a little bit of a downward going towards you, so it was kind of cool. Perfect for side sleeping. So I slept just like this all night, and I really bundled underneath this little blanket. That's all I had. I'm guessing that the temperatures got below 40, probably 38, 39, I'm guessing. I don't know, because it didn't feel like 42, what the forecast showed, but that forecast was for Winslow, for the town that I live in. So I'm going to get up, and I'm kind of thirsty. I think I'll get a drink. I'm going to get up and start breaking the camp and calling it a day. I'm not even going to make a fire again. I don't need to. I'm not hungry. I'm just thirsty. Temperatures right now feel very good. In fact, I'm thinking about losing a layer. But yeah, last night got a little cold. I wouldn't say I was freezing, but I was chilly. Something that probably would have helped is if I could have got more of this kind of stuff down as a bed. Didn't get the opportunity to do that though because I was filming and it started raining on me. Remember that hailstorm hit and it made everything wet, and I had to hunker down underneath this plastic. So my bed wasn't as good as I had planned on making it. If I could have had the chance to make the bed what I wanted it to be, I think there's a good chance I would have been a lot warmer. I heard the birds singing already this morning. A lot of bird activity. Oh, my Olight, my M1T special edition. I had it on high because I was down, I had it on that setting, and I was down looking at the crawdads and stuff, and the light just stopped, went out completely. And then I hit the button, nothing. So I had the headlamp on as a backup, but it was on moonlight mode, only 2 lumens. So I was looking at this M1T. I took this battery out. These are Skywolf Eye rechargeables that I bought. They're inexpensive and they're rechargeable. Took the tail cap off, put it back on, and the light worked again. But then shortly after that, I come to find that the battery was dead. So I don't know if these are bad batteries or what, but it seems like the battery went dead awfully quick. So these might be, I'm not saying they are bad batteries, but they might be. Skywolf Eye. Got them off of Amazon. I got like 10 of them or something like that. And they were pretty cheap, so I might have got some cheap batteries. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get packed up and get moving. First order of business though is put my lights away, of course. Temperatures right now feel good though. There's my camera stuff. I haven't even used my Baco. I didn't even put the paracord on it like I thought I was gonna. So this is the H1 headlamp, and it comes with this little case. I was able to put extra batteries and an M1T in there, and it all fits in there pretty good. That's kind of the lighting option that I like to bring. Works really good. I use the Mora quite a bit. That's a good knife, really good knife. Cutting up my chicken and stuff, that works real good. I have the nesting rag right here. I hung it out last night to dry. I took it down to the water and I washed it because I had been using it for cutting that chicken. So I took it down and washed it and I hung it out to dry, and once it was dry I stuck it in my pocket. So that all worked out pretty good. These little dry bags that you get, these are good dry bags. I get them at Walmart. They're like $5 for a 20-liter dry bag, and they work pretty good. For $5, you know, $6, whatever they are, they're cheap, but they work good. They're built fairly well. It's just to keep all your gear fairly clean and fairly dry. They work okay. I have some stainless steel bowls in the car that I want to bring down and clean them in the sand. So I'm going to do that before I go. If you haven't seen these yet, you will. They're in the video. I've cleaned part of them yesterday, but I just thought I'd bring them down while I have the sand and the water and clean them. That way I don't have to do it at home. Sand works so good for cleaning these. One of them's a little cleaner than the other. I just take this sand out of the river. I'm just trying to get like this soot and stuff off of them. Yeah, the video that these bowls are in is a very good video. It was fun trip. This is one of my favorite ways, one of my favorite techniques rather, for cleaning stainless steel. Sand works good, very effective. Very, very effective. Well, I have one bowl done. Took a few minutes, but it's clean. I just got to finish the other one. This sand works pretty good, so that's exactly what I wanted. It's time to call it a wrap. This overnighter seems to have went by very fast. Seems like I wish I could have had another day or two out here. Barely getting started and it's time to go. I'm thinking it's probably 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. Not quite sure. I want to say thank you guys for joining me today on this one. It was fun. I hope you got some good, useful information out of this video. Again, please feel free to leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. And as always, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day. And we'll see you next time.